So my recommendation on the front end of this is don't necessarily get caught up where you're linearly focused on real estate exclusively. I'm not trying to detour you from your enthusiasm towards real estate. I want that to remain. In addition to that, I find that people have a bad habit of putting blinders on. And because of their laser focus, they oftentimes miss out on other opportunities, myself included. Because I was so laser focused on real estate for the first 10 years of my career, the needle just wouldn't move. And I'm telling you, you might get to that 20 doors and find that it's really making an impact on your lifestyle. But until you realize enough of a portfolio to see deep multiple thousands in profit left over every single month, it's unusual that you're going to be sitting in some room counting all your money, taking extravagant trips and blaming your long-term rental properties for it. You just aren't. Most of us that own real estate and have owned real estate as landlords for a long time, including multi-unit myself, I mentioned this recently that it more often than not feels like the properties are making me broke. Not making me rich, making me broke. It's not really until 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the road that I actually started seeing, oh, okay, well, this is why I owned them. And really that was based on what it was showing on paper. It was because I'm now seeing equity positions that are still just sort of, it looks good, but as far as the cash flow, it's really not my long-term rental properties that influence my lifestyle at all. It's my short-term rentals as far as real estate. It's my property management as far as real estate, because not only do I own short-term rentals, but I also manage other people's short-term rentals and take a percentage of the profits to do that. And that is a short-term net cash flow solution. Short-term rental properties are a version of a short-term net cash flow solution. You can still be in real estate and have short-term net cash flow, the equation being solved. That also goes for example, real estate agents. Now, I don't necessarily recommend somebody get into real estate as an agent for the sole purpose of being an independent agent and having, giving yourself a job. Again, I only enter into things that I know are scalable. Any business I'm going to step into, I have to see a way that it can be scaled up to at least 7 figures. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it. Doesn't mean it's necessarily ever going to happen. But I at least have to know that I can. And until you're really out there doing it, you don't know whether you're going to like it, right? I mean, I have to know that I can scale an Airbnb business or a short-term rental business. I hate to call it Airbnb, but scaling a short-term rental business, I can see a way to get it to $1 million. But until I'm actually managing a short-term rental, how do I know if I enjoy it? I have to get one first, and I may hate it. I think I'm going to like it. That's why I get in, but it could be different than I expect. And if I end up not liking it, chances are I'm not going to build it up to $1 million or more. But I at least going in see other people running $1 million short-term rental businesses. Okay, so I encourage you to follow a similar format to that, not to really step your toes into anything unless you can see a 7-figure roadmap. Through example, you find other people that are doing it. And if I'm in your shoes, it would start right at home base. Home base for you should be the trucking industry. I would be finding as much content as possible, and given that you're an information kind of guy, you've probably already done some of this, where you're on YouTube and you're finding these owner-operator drivers that have found a way to incorporate what they're doing in the space, in the industry, to succeed. And there might be some really out of the ordinary ways of going about doing it. I mean, I've seen auto mechanics that have millions of subscribers. You have any idea the impact that you can have on your bottom line by being somebody that does something like start a YouTube channel? And when you're an owner operator too, you have a lot more to gain. It's no different than with our drain business, we started a YouTube channel as well. And it's not because of, the perverts out there that want to watch these drains unclog, which is absolutely disgusting. And it's crazy because I found other drain-based YouTube channels. I looked into this before we even got into this venture. I said, I need proof that there's other ways that people are making money. And I found YouTube channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers and videos getting hundreds of thousands of views of people that are just gross. And they like to see that stuff. It's like the pimple popping community. They just go on and watch videos of that crap. This is disgusting. But there's also money in eyeballs. If I have an audience, then I can get paid, which means that equipment manufacturers could sponsor us, right? Or they might just be able to, we might be able to get deep discounts. It's already worked without even having the audience yet, showing that, hey, we have another channel that's done well. We're building a channel here. We'd love to showcase your equipment over other equipment. We've hand selected you. We like your stuff the best. We would love to form some form of JV with you where we showcase your stuff, but we want to see what type of a discount you can give us on our purchases. And we were able to get significant discounts on the original purchases of, tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment. As an independent owner operator yourself, you could get everything from tires to maybe interior to accessories to engine work to maybe even a new rig someday. Who knows, right? Depending on how big you end up getting. My point is, I don't think people think creatively enough using modern technology on various ways to diversify revenue streams.
I feel like I've fallen behind in technology a little bit, just like what happened to my desktop. I didn't even know it was running that old Windows, and I'm just like, man, I'm behind, and I'm gonna catch up, because I am seeing, like, literally the last 2 years, like, are people like really becoming this wealthy off of videos? Man, I gotta start my own. Like, it's just crazy the amount of money that's being made through videos and content, and working with other people to scale that up. It's just crazy. I'm just like, man, I literally missed out on that, but I want to catch up.
Yeah, well, I mean, missed out implies that, you can't just start anytime. You can start anytime. And the good news about technology is they don't create new technology, and innovation doesn't happen without things becoming more user-friendly, easier, faster. It's the whole purpose of innovation, is efficiency. They want more clients, not fewer. They want more people paying for their various resources and tools, not fewer. They don't want only the smart people. They want dum-dums like me, which means video editing stuff is better than it's ever been. It means cameras are better than they've ever been. It means you can literally do all of this with nothing more than a smartphone and some good natural lighting, which means you don't even have to purchase lighting. You can literally just be near a window somewhere, right? It means that the sound quality is so much better. You can buy cheap little microphones, stuff like this, or, I've got a lapel here, right? Lapel mic. Things like this are very inexpensive now. So the good news to you, by being a little later to the party, and you're still early, make no mistake, thinking that you've missed something is definitely not the case.
And let me ask you something. The metaverse that a couple months ago that they're selling real estate in that now, like that's insane. And I'm like, I can't miss out on that. And I haven't done my homework, but have you gotten into that? Is it profitable yet? Or do you see that being scaled yet to $1 million?
Well, I think everything is possible. Until I'm an active participant, it's tough for me to speak on things. Obviously this is just my opinion. I do think digital assets are the way of the future. I am a participant in digital assets, no question about it. I've been active in sharing with this community about my approach to dollar cost averaging through crypto. Certainly seen quite a level of volatility with that, of course, and who knows where it's going to go. I mean, it could get way, way worse before it gets better. I'm a long-term believer. I'm a believer in the blockchain and the space. I'm a believer in the virtualization of the future. All I have to do is go into any restaurant any day, anytime, and just observe what families do with their time. And you'll hardly be able to find anyone under the age of 15 that's not sitting there on their device. This is trend observations are not that difficult. So to think that next future generation is not going to be almost entirely tech oriented, I think would be unrealistic. I think you definitely need to be betting on technology and the virtualization of things. But as to who's going to be the front runner on that stuff, hard to say. Obviously, Meta's putting the most money into it unsuccessfully at the moment, but it's cool. I mean, I still think it's cool. And if you can be on the front end of things, I think there's definitely more speculation involved. There's probably a higher upside potential. Bitcoin used to cost $1. So, you can, you can get early, but sometimes you find out later that nothing ever really ended up transpiring, and that may be a waste of time and money down the road. So hard to say, but I think the trend is pretty obvious, going to be geared towards technology.